David in Boston writes, Paul, I recently purchased your Jazz Classics 1950s album from Octave Records. Why, thank you, David. It's personally my favorite of any album that we've ever recorded. And he says, clearly it is nicely recorded, and I can hear the love and care that goes into the playing. You know, when people give you a nice compliment at the beginning of a long, you know where this is going, right? But why? Oh, why do you mix the drums as if the drummer had a wingspan of 15 feet? Hearing a hi-hat or cymbal in one speaker and the snare or other drum in the other just takes me out of the music. You don't pan the saxophone all over the soundstage, and even the piano, which is a big instrument, is given a more realistic location than the poor giant drummer. I've heard others mix the drums in a more realistic manner, and Lord knows there are great mono recordings of drums. So, I don't believe that you need to spread the instrument so far to make its many parts intelligible. Why do you make that choice? Thanks, David. Whew. Okay, well, David, thank you. People say, well, yeah, people criticize you all the time. It's true. And when you are a creative, when you are somebody that is making something for others to enjoy, whether it's hi-fi equipment or stereo recordings, whatever it is, you put yourself out there and that's what you get. Praise, criticism, the whole bit. It comes with the territory, and I am fine with it. And I actually appreciate it because oftentimes I learn what people like and don't like, and I can modify things to make a difference, as long as I agree. So let's think about this, because here's poor Paul having figured out that the drum sound he's been getting on, don't you love when I talk in the third person? The drum sound he's been getting has been his favorite of all the drum sounds over all the many recordings that I have made. And this is exactly what David is talking about. And so let's discuss how I do it. Okay, so you have this drum kit, which is big. This drum kit is probably 10 feet across. I'm not very good at measuring things, but it's from this desk all the way over to this desk. I mean, you've got toms, snare, bass drum, hi-hats, big cymbals over here. Well, obviously it is big enough to where the guy can reach over and hit and smack it with his foot, but how far is this? Is this probably in 10 foot? It's probably 6 foot? I don't know. Again, forgive me. I get accused all the time, rightfully so. I can't measure things just with my hands. I need tape measures. But however wide this is, that's how wide the drums are, okay? So what I do is I take my favorite microphones for the drums, which is the Neumann U67s, and I place them up here and I place them over here and call those the overheads. Then I have a separate microphone pair, one on the top and one on the bottom of the snare, and I've got bass drum kick mics, right? Now, a lot of recording engineers like to have a mic on every single drum and then they mix it all, and I don't like doing that. I like the more natural sound, to me, of the drums as they're recorded in this way. Okay, so what happens is if I pan the top overhead all the way to the left and the right overhead all the way over to the right, you're going to get this huge sound field that sounds very natural to my ear. Okay? If I stand in front of the drums, call it, here we go with feet again, 6 feet? I don't know. At a reasonable distance from the drums, and I close my eyes, they are all the way over here and they're all the way over there. I mean, they are taking over the room. So that sounds very natural to me. And that's part of the reason I do it. It sounds natural. It sounds like they've taken over the room, as they do. Now, I think David and many other people are used to the drums being pulled in a little bit, which on the pan pots I could easily do like that, and the whole thing would be narrowed up. And I might try that. But for right now, I have to tell you, that sounds really natural. And when I stand in the tracking room and I listen to that, that's kind of what I hear. And that's what I'm trying to achieve at Octave Records. So I do appreciate the comments and the criticism, and I will put that in mind next time. We're going to do another jazz recording. That was one of our most popular albums. Tom Amen and the guys are coming back in. And I will experiment a little bit and turn those in to see if maybe it sounds more realistic. And if it does, then you have it. Okay? Thanks. Bye.